The animator takes care of a lot of the work involved in doing animations. I have it all set up with all the transitions and the parameter here. But in order to have the game play different animations at different times, we still need to write a script. So let's do that. So in our Assets folder, stay organized, let's create a folder for scripts. So right-click, Create Folder, call it Scripts, go inside that folder, right-click, Create C# script. I'll call it Animation Control. So let's look at our pony. This is where our animator component is. Let's put this script on that same object. So this script is going to need to access our animator so we can play these transitions. So let's go ahead and open up Animation Control script in MonoDevelop. First thing I want to do is line up our curly braces here. Just stay organized and clean. I'm going to just go ahead and delete these comments for now. So in order to access that animator component, remember over here, we need to get this animator component from this script. We're going to create a variable here of type animator because we're trying to get that animator component. And I'm just going to call the variable anim. And in the start function, I want to set the value of that variable to this animator component right here. So I'm going to say this dot get component, and it's of type animator. It's weird syntax, but you just type it like that with the angle brackets and then regular parentheses. So now that we have this component, we need to, in the update function, set the value of the parameter inside that animator component. So remember, the function start just gets called once at the beginning of the life of this object. So it's going to get set once. But update gets called every frame. So we're going to create a new float variable called vertical. And we're going to set it to keyboard or joystick input and mouse. So we're going to say input.axis vertical. Now you can see these axis settings over here on Edit, Project Settings, Input. And you expand these axes and you'll see here's vertical right here. You can see it's the up, down arrows or the SW keys. Now we're going to also set horizontal next, which would be the left, right arrow or the AD keys. Okay, so let's go back. Now do float variable and we'll call it horizontal equals input.getAxis horizontal. Okay, so now we have the value of when the player pressed either the up, down, or left to right arrows or the AD, SW keys. Okay, so if the value of vertical is greater than 0, that means they must have pressed up on the keys, up arrow or W. We're going to set the integer that we created inside of the animator. It's called direction. We want to go forward. So let's look at what we set in the animator. So if we want to press up and go forward, we'll see here that we said direction should equal 0. So we'll say 0. Some of you may want it to go backwards instead, but it's up to you. And then we'll say else if vertical is less than 0, then we're going to set direction to, let's go back here and look. So what we have going to the back animation, we had direction equal 1. So let's set that to 1. Now let's also do it with the horizontal. If horizontal is greater than 0, that means the user pressed the right arrow key. So let's go here. Look at the right animation. Look at the transition we did to the right, and we had direction equal 3. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to say anim.setInteger direction to 3. So that means to the left must be direction we wanted to set to 2. You can see I have these red squiggly lines, so I know something's wrong here. So I forgot to close my parentheses over here. Actually, I don't need these parentheses here. Just want matching parentheses. So make sure there's nothing red, no squiggly lines, no letters red or anything. So now let's go back and check this. So if we play this, there's no errors here, so I know we're good. So I'm going to press, that's the right arrow, left arrow, up arrow, back arrow. I could do them in any order and it works. And you can also see which animation is playing up there. And you can see, if it went slower, you can see the little transitions going. There you go.